What's up, guys? So today I have another replay for you. This is a game with a Katarina main named Reverse 1 from the Korean server. This is just a random game I found and I took a look at it, and this guy is master tier, but he has like a lot of games played on Katarina this season. In the Korean server, he has the most games played at around like 1600. And so we're going to take a look at his game today, and he's in master tier, so it's relatively lower than what we're normally reviewing. But the thing is, with these lower tier games, there is a concept that I think I should like go into, because this type of concept isn't really shown in challenger games very often. Definitely more in a lower tier game where it's a little bit less coordinated and kind of like a free-for-all almost. But yeah, even though this is a lower tier player compared to the other two reviews that I did, there's definitely something to take out of this. So let's start the replay. So right now this guy has Teleport Ignite with Electrocute, went into the Relentless Hunter. Pretty standard stuff here. Level 1, you just want to farm. He went Dark Seal as well, Dark Seal and the Refill. Refill is good for the long term. It does save you money for pots. Nidalee comes in from the top, chunks him out. Pretty annoying, I'd say. Nidalee did start their red buff, so Nidalee's going all the way towards the blue buff. Talon doesn't think he has time. He's going to come mid to try to chunk out the Yone. But level 1 Katarina can't really follow up or do much. So he's just going to stick to farming, but was around just in case. Now if you see here, this is kind of a crazy roam by the bot lane. Jhin and Lulu are coming up, and they're level 2. Katarina's about to hit. No, Katarina goes in with QE, and Yone has to flash, which is fine. So Yone's flash is down, which is good. Now you can like pressure a little bit more. If you see, Nidalee and Talon are topside. And it looks like bottom lane is sort of getting into a little skirmish, but right now Katarina isn't too strong. And so he's just going to focus on farming. But you also have to take a look at the fight and see if you need to roam or not. But it seemed like bot was safe there, so he didn't need to roam. Yone teleports back mid. And now his wave is pushing into Yone. But again, you just want to hang back early game and just try to get your item spikes. That's like your main priority. Just getting your item spikes so you can be really strong. Okay, Talon's around bot side. It's just simple farming right now. Nothing crazy. Yone's just pressuring on the tower. This guy's opting for the back. Okay, he does get the back, and he comes back with an Amp Tome. And he TP's bottom. Gets 1 kill. EWQ. And he lives with the Wait. That's super unlucky. I think he leveled up. That's super unlucky. He did TP down for 1 kill. Now, he does get the Hextech Alternator from that kill, which is kind of nice. But he did lose a wave mid, and Yone gets to push into the tower. So he is going to be behind in the lane. Yone is level 5 right now. Cat's like less than halfway to 5 as well. So Yone did get 1 plating. Now Katarina's back in the lane, and here you just got to chill again. He does have the alternator though if he wants to find like a short burst trade. But with Yone, yeah, all you really want to go is for short burst trades. And if you can't find that, then you mainly just want to stick to the wave. Because Yone can definitely outdamage you like in a sustained fight. Especially with Conquer. He's got good tools to like mitigate damage too, like his W. And he can use E to like dash. But Katarina just shoves in. She also wards the lane as well. And we see a skirmish happening bottom. Where they made the pick on the Xerath. Rengar actually did go down. Katarina goes into the jungle, helps out the Talon. Okay, they actually give the red to the cat. Now, they're looking to dive the Xayah here. We know Nidalee's not around. Katarina's just here for safe measures. We know Xerath doesn't have flash either. But enemy played well and just backed up. Now, the problem with this roam is that you do actually end up losing resources mid lane, and Yone gets to keep shoving in here. Yone is also level 6, so Katarina has to come into the lane at a good angle. At a safe angle. Yone is just focusing on shoving, so she's okay. Okay, so Katarina's almost 6. Yone is already 6. You gotta be careful. Yone is around topside here. They hit the plant. Nidalee could be topside as well, so you gotta keep that in mind. But right now, you just want to like go for 6. Yone didn't back and buy yet, so he's not like super strong right now. I don't think Yone's looking to all in, or at least get aggressive. He just wants to shove and get his items right now. Okay, Yone hits level 7. Katarina hits 6. And we saw Yone topside, or walk in topside. So Nidalee's up there. Guessing Yone's going to be up there too. And now Katarina's got to make the decision here, right? Dragon's up bottom. Talon's around bottom side. I think Talon's looking for a play bot. Katarina's going to look to push this in first. And then you got the Yone getting to kill top lane. Katarina could stay for 1 plating, I think at most. Probably back up. Now, his team's trying to make a play bottom because they saw 3 top. Now, their bottom lane has to play back and play safe. But it looks like they had the hunch, and so they back up. It is also pretty hard. It's going to be like a tricky dive. Especially going into a Xayah who can like root. She also has exhaust. But they get the dragon though, so they do trade that. Again, Katarina's just pushing in. I think she's trying to look for a back right now. Let's see, it's a cannon wave. I think maybe potentially she could have backed there. Talon was in their jungle, so I guess she needed to be around for a team. General rule of thumb though is to back on the cannons. Sadly, she doesn't get that cannon. Okay, she has 1,500 gold. What's she gonna buy here? Gets the Sork shoes and the ruby crystal. Sork shoes being a very popular early buy on Cat. First of all, one thing that's nice is you get to use the movement speed to get back into lane. The extra pen is always good, but it doesn't help you push waves. But she does have the alternator to help with that as well. And it also helps you roam. Especially if Yone is just going to keep shoving in like this. Then it gives you that more movement speed to like respond. To respond more earlier to these little skirmishes and fights. She's also going into the Proto Belt as well, which is also pretty standard. She's just going to make sure that they get the rift. Everyone is around. But Lulu's here. Good roam by Lulu. Okay, they go back into lane. Next wave's coming in. He's going to try to just shove this all together. Shove it in with the Lulu. And then wait to see what his next move is. They could use this time. Ooh. Nidalee was there. Yone ult. Lulu ult. Oof. What a snipe. The bottom side of the mid lane was pretty dark. And so, like, you gotta be careful face checking those. But enemy did a good job playing around that kind of vision. Talon's around the area, just looking to shove this. Ooh, Yone walks into the dagger. Pops the ignite, gets the kill. Nice. That was a misplay by Yone. I don't think he had E, but he really wanted to clear the back minions, which is something that you could take advantage of as well. You can set up a dagger. You know, his intention was to push, and I'm pretty sure Yone thought the same thing. So then Yone walks up and tries to take the back line, the back minions. And you can kind of use like low minions to bait them in. He gets a TP here, gets the Xerath. This is why TP is good. Just so you can like pressure the map, win fights, win skirmishes. In this case, he was able to pick up 2 kills off of TP. He TP'd earlier to the bot lane, and then he TP'd just now. So he's 3-1 in the lane, and he's up in gold. So he shoves that out. Talon is bot lane. I think Katarina is hovering towards bot lane. There is a TP coming. That's the Yone TP. Okay, we got a fight here. WQ. He ult, kill the Nidalee. Now Yone is around. WQ. He auto Q and he's dead. So when going on Yone like that, like you want to make sure that you dodge Qs. And Katarina does have the mobility to naturally dodge it as well, so that's pretty good. But also keep that in mind. You don't want to give Yone any openings with like his second Q. Okay, he's hiding in the bush. Gets warded. He's looking for a cheeky pick. But full backs. Uses the movement speed and the Relentless Hunter. So he's pretty safe with the movement speed. He could just like walk back. He's going to take this wave. Now bot lane is... His bot lane is in the mid lane now. He does have to be careful here. One stun and he could die. Alright, he has to back here. Oh, he's opting to stay. Xerath roamed. Okay. But still, Xayah can do a lot of damage. He has a 500 gold bounty, and especially if you're like sitting on a lot of gold, like you don't want to do anything too crazy. You don't want to get too ahead of yourself when you don't have, when you like haven't shopped yet, you know what I mean? So he gets the Proto Belt, and then he goes into the Blasting Wand. I'm guessing that's going to go into Nashor's Tooth, but we'll see. Okay, ooh, use the Proto Belt to get close. Lulu ult. Okay. Did they get anything else here? They get the Yone. Okay, that was good. So he kind of knew his strength, and especially seeing like a Xerath walk up pretty close and be out of position and overextended. Like you can try to make a play, and because he had Lulu around, he did have a escape plan to fall back on. So I guess the one concept that I wanted to talk about for this game is just like aggression, just straight up aggression, and sort of really taking over the game just by like killing the enemies, you know. And this isn't a concept that you see a lot in Challenger, because Katarina is more limited in that environment against better players. Here, because it's a little bit lower, you can see like games can get a little crazy and a little unorganized. And so, you know, what is the 5-1 cat going to do in this kind of environment, you know, in this elo? And so, yeah, it looks like he might be opting for the Nashers by getting the Amp Tome. And then he sees he's going to follow the roam bottom with his team. And Dragon is up, so they do want to set up for this. They're looking to potentially make a play and get the Dragon. Okay, so the team is around. Renekton is top. Yone is mid. Uh-oh. Okay, so they secure it. It's good. Again, he sees a Yone out of position. Jumps over the wall with the Q dagger. Ooh, I like that mechanic. That mechanic's a lot of fun to use. Let me show you. So first of all, Katarina knows she has the damage. A lot of damage. Yone doesn't even have shield bow yet. Immediately goes in on the Yone. Jumps in on the Xerath. W's. And then E's over to the Q and then E's back. So it like basically repositions you just for a little second. And I think that little combo is pretty nifty. And it could help in certain situations to like sort of confuse your opponent. Is to basically just give you like a way out and then a way back in. Takes the Scuttle here. 10 stacks on Dark Seal. Is he going to get the Medjais? Okay, so Nidalee is dead. He's going to walk around in the jungle knowing he is strong, right? Clearing jungle, getting resources, taking away their resources. You know, little things you can do to set your opponent back a little bit more. And he's just going to back here. Now, you don't want to, like, linger around too long without resetting. Because if your team is ready to, like, go into the next play and go into the next fight, and you take too long to like recall and come back and group with them, it can like mess up the timing in terms of like these fights and skirmishes. So you want to like make sure you kind of reset with your team most of the time and sort of have everyone kind of push in and be on the map together. But he goes bot here. He does get the Nashor's Tooth. Yone doesn't have shield bow yet. So with the electrocute, he immediately goes in, and it's crazy how Yone almost killed this guy, but you know, that's just how it is. Yone does do a lot of damage, but now he has a shield bow. If he had shield bow there, I think he would have lost that. But Katarina probably saw that he didn't have his completed shield bow, and Yone was up there trying to finish it off, right? Or just maybe just clearing the wave. But regardless, he was able to take advantage of that and just look for that kill. And these kills are going to add up. These kills are going to add up. They're going to get him stronger and stronger, and eventually he's going to be able to take over the game. And that's like what I see in this video, in this replay. It's just Katarina doing Katarina things pretty much. So he goes back bot lane. He does have TP, so he's going to split. Checks around for vision. If you like scout around for vision around where you're like pushing, you could like potentially look for picks, hide in places that they won't expect you to be, stuff like that. Rengar does die top lane. At this point, you just like push, look at the map, look for TPs. Keep up the pressure one side of the map, and then try to fight on the other side if needed. But the point is to just like keep up the pressure, keep the minions pushed into the tower, and punish them if they were to like leave the tower. It pretty much drags someone towards the tower and splits up the team. TP play. Goes in on the Xerath. Lulu's around again. Ooh, let me highlight a little micro moment. All right, so he opts in for the TP here, right? Watch how he moves. EW, immediately goes behind him, and then throws the Q, right? And so like little micro movements like those can be very useful and very helpful and can actually help you pick up kills. Because he was able to dodge the Xerath stun. Even though it's like super hard to hit when Katarina E's onto you, it's still like something that you have to do in order for you to not get stunned. Make sure that you're not easy to hit. You know, you use your W movement speed to kind of move around them. Oh. Just one shot the Italy real quick. E out. Nice. Let's talk about this push. So he got 2 kills. And then he decides to push in. 2 of them are dead. And he has Nashor's Tooth. He does a lot of damage to towers. But also, let's take a look at their team. They have Renekton, who's bottom, Nidalee, and Yone. So him being able to push up like that just shows that, you know, if Nidalee were to come, if Yone were to come, he could potentially kill them both. Because he's very strong, right? And Nidalee is one example here. And then the wave was coming in, so he uses the E to just jump away. And Portabelt. So it's like knowing your limits, but also when you start pushing your limits, you gotta be ready for anything that comes, because I'm sure he didn't see that Nidalee spear coming, right? Even though that was an easy outplay, he just W'd, Nidalee just walked in. Yeah. I mean, Nidalee doesn't have a lot to deal with Katarina, and so she needs to play it well. But she just kind of ran it. Katarina's gonna go in for the Zhonyas now. Just instantly one-shots to Xayah. Now I think going Zhonyas here is a good buy. First of all, it helps against their team like Yone, Xayah. It can help stall out. But also he already has the damage and the enemy team is filled with squishy champions, and so, you know, he could do stuff like this, you know. He already has the damage. He's already fed. Zhonya's is also another really cheap item that you can use to stack your Portabelt mythic passive as well. So the extra pen is gonna be nice. Especially when you're starting to snowball and having that MR, the flat MR, or the flat magic pen stack, you can become very deadly. So right now he finishes his Zhonya's, and then goes into the Medjai's, and now he is 3 legendary items in, which means he's got a good amount of magic pen now. And so, looking at their team being squishy, like he could probably just one-shot them all. And Portabelt's just really good when you're in this kind of position, when you're really fed, and you can just like roam around the map. So right now he's bottom lane, right? And so, someone has to match this guy. So we're gonna see what happens here. So he pressure, shoves in. They get a kill on Xerath, but our Talon dies. He's gonna push in here. Does a lot of damage to towers. So at this point, Katarina is just like a fucking unit to deal with, right? So you can use this to sort of like push your lead like this. He's just so strong, right? And then Nidalee tries to get aggressive, but he gets one pick, and now that just gives a lot of leeway for your team to do stuff. And now they have to deal with you pushing into the bot lane, you know? Nidalee hits a spear. He's just gonna kill him. Oh, he has a W set, looking for the Xerath. Yep. Rengar TP coming in. Boom. And he's just so strong, right? Zhonya's the Yone. And Yone ends up dying as well. And the enemy ends up FFing. Okay. So he wins the game. Now, the concept that I want to highlight is the fact that he was able to get fed, get strong, And then the way he tries to close out the game is just, it's like very micro heavy. It's like knowing Katarina's limits and pushing it as much as you can. And a lot of just like testing your opponent to see if they like take a bite, you know? So like, let's say you set up a dagger. That Nidalee was a good example, except I think Nidalee was just inting. But to use the Nidalee as an example, where he pushes himself up, he W's away and sees if they like going for a bite. And Nidalee obviously wants the whole fucking feast, just stands right on top of the dagger and it just dies. In 2 occasions, right? And every kill that you get, like during this phase of the game, it's gonna add up. And eventually you're gonna take more and more advantages and you're just gonna end up closing out the game. And so, you know, when you have a game like this where you're like extremely fed and you just try to go in and go for kills and try to close out the game that way, it can be very effective as long as you know and have the experience to pull it off. Because I know that a lot of new cat players are gonna have the same like mentality when going into the games. It's like, oh, I'm Katarina, oh, I'm fed, let's go in and kill everybody and win the game, right? I mean, that's like a very satisfying way to win. But you're gonna have to know exactly how to do it, or else you may end up throwing the game. Like, doing this is risky. It's not something that like you should be doing in all your games. It's inconsistent. But you have to play out your games and see whether it is that kind of game, right? It's like, okay, well, if you look at the enemy team, let's take a look. They got Nidalee, they got Yone, they got Zaya, they got Zareth, Renekton. It's like a relatively squishy team. And so like, you know, you make decisions based off of the situation that you're in, rather than thinking, oh, like, this is Katarina's, like, this is how Katarina is supposed to carry, right? Because generally it isn't. And so, yeah, just thought I'd let you know the concept of like, you know, pushing Katarina's strengths, knowing your limits, pushing your limits, limit testing, and stuff like that can potentially win you games. And the more you do it, the more you're going to get better at it, as long as you don't mind throwing some games here and there. All right, well, that was the video. Hope you guys learned something here. If you guys liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.